Someone once told me that I didn't understand the power that was within. And I remember I thought about that for quite a while. And I was listening to a sermon on Sunday morning, and I heard the preacher say, "You don't understand the power." And as soon as I heard that, it took me back to that moment when someone said that to me. And I felt to search deep within. A whole lot lately, I've been understanding that our pain has a purpose. As I walk back through my life, I realize that everything that I have went through has led me to something, as long as I have allowed it to. I didn't let my pain control me. I just, I might have fell short. I'm sure I did. And, but as long as we don't allow our pain to control us, and we allow ourselves to feel the pain, to feel our emotions, if we give ourselves permission to do that, then we can get through it and we can properly heal so that we don't bleed on people that didn't cut us. And we can turn that pain into purpose, and we can help someone else. I'm sure that you've helped somebody else through something, and you were able to do so because you've been there before, or you've been in a similar situation. And I feel like there's so much power when we're not afraid to share, when we're not afraid to be vulnerable, when we allow ourselves to help others through our testimony and through things that we have been through. And I believe God will always let you know what part of your testimony you're supposed to share, when you're supposed to share it, because I've asked, many people over the years to share their stories or share their testimonies of different things that we were doing. And they always say, well, there's so much. And I remember feeling that way when I first started to share different things about my life. And I got the revelation that God will always let you know. He'll lay it on your heart what you're supposed to share, when you're supposed to share it. Because somebody, if it's a big group of people, someone in that room needs to hear what you have to say. Or if it's just an individual, you'll know exactly what to say as long as you listen to your heart. And so what I felt yesterday is that when I was praying and studying, you don't understand the power, but you had the power all along. And so I remember, it's been a couple years ago now, I was standing in my kitchen doing the dishes, and I was listening to, I think it was something that was going on somewhere in Columbus or something, and I remember the pastor that was preaching said, if the devil cannot take you out with suicide, because that's a quick and easy takeout for the devil. If we just take our life, if we just end it right there and then quickly, then he will try to kill you slowly. And I remember just feeling like time literally stood still when I heard him say that. I heard him say that, and I went back through my life, like it all just started flashing back through. And if you don't know, as a child, I struggled a lot with suicide. A lot of thoughts went through my head. I was always a little girl that felt everything. And I didn't even understand those feelings or emotions or things that were going on. And I did attend a church. I attended it with my grandma. And that's exactly the only thing I got out of it, was my grandma and her beautiful voice singing and the love that she had for Jesus. And I didn't really understand it all. I just knew I wanted to be close to her because she was my favorite. So I believe that I had a covering over me my whole life. I believe there are angels surrounding us that keep us safe. But that didn't stop the darkness from coming and attacking me many times as a small child, as a young girl that should have just been living life and chasing butterflies. But I did all of that and still somehow battled all this darkness without very many people knowing. And I remember learning to write, and that was an outlet for me. And so when I'd start to feel that darkness come, instead of acting upon it, I would write it down. And so it made perfect sense to me when that guy said that if the devil cannot take you out quickly with suicide, then he will take you out slowly with something else. And that something else could be addiction. I wrote down a bunch of things that it could be. It could be abuse, mental, physical, emotional abuse. It can be neglect. It can be depression, anxiety. It can be throwing yourself into work and just working yourself to death. It can be sickness. that just plagues you, but it doesn't take you out quickly. And so there's so many things that we are tormented with, so many things that when it comes to addiction, especially, that we try to self-medicate. We try to take that pain away ourselves because we cannot cope with it anymore. And people don't always understand what you're going through. People really don't understand unless they've been there. They can have compassion for you, and that's wonderful, but it is so important that you know who your tribe is that you can talk to about mental illness if you are struggling, or your addiction, or your suicide thoughts. There's things that not everybody is going to understand. And so I pray that you find people that you can confide in. If you don't have a counselor or a pastor, I pray that you find a very good one that cares about you no matter what, and that your best interest is what they have in mind. And so today I just hope that you are encouraged in knowing that you're not alone, that we all struggle. And you know, in high school, my nickname was Sunshine, Sunshine. And here I was, a girl that was struggling with suicidal thoughts, depression, anxiety, fear like no other, had so much fear. And my nickname was Sunshine. And so sometimes the people that are shining the brightest might be the people that are hiding the most pain. And so we can't just go off of what we see on the outside. That's why it's so important to take our time to really listen to somebody. You know, how many times have you passed by someone and said, "How are you?" And you really don't even stop to listen. It's just like we have these already orchestrated answers. "I'm fine, I'm good." You know, but what happens if somebody says, "You know what, I'm doing really bad today"? Do you slow down? Do you take the time to listen to them? Or do you brush them off and keep going? We need to be good people. We need to be compassionate for others and take the time. If you ask someone how they are, truly care what they're going to answer, and take the time to listen to their answer and try to be there for them. Just listening to someone is sometimes the best thing. It's sometimes all we need is to feel heard. And so as I journeyed through my life and battled all the things that I battled to get over this depression and anxiety and fear and all this darkness, and I found God, and I realized that yes, I am sunshine, but now I'm not sunshine in the way that people would think I am, like, "Oh, the bright, she reminds me of sun," and I think that's wonderful, bright and sunny, because I'm a sunshine girl. But now I am sunshine, SONSHINE, and that is the sun, Jesus Christ, is shining through me. And so I don't ever want to get the glory for anything that I do. I always want people to see Jesus when they look at me. And so today, just know that I love you, that you are not alone in this world, and there are people out there that care about you. And if you're struggling, reach out for help. Tomorrow needs you. Today needs you. You are needed, I promise. Reach out and talk to someone. Something else that helps me, that has helped me overcome things, is when I help someone else. So don't pour from an empty cup, but maybe you can help someone today. That maybe your neighbor just, sitting on their porch all alone, that lost a spouse. Go and have a cup of coffee with them this morning. Or reach out to somebody that God has laid on your heart. Just have a very blessed day and take care of yourself. The world's heavy, but it's okay. You can handle it. You don't understand the power that's within, but the power has been there all along. You can do hard things. Go out there and get it today.